Before the video starts, guys, I just want to apologize in advance for constantly hitting my head. I don't mean to. It's a really bad habit that I have to quit. But welcome everybody, and I hope you enjoy this video. Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Jasmine.
Hey y'all.
Okay, so damn, look how big my thigh is. Sheesh.
Anyway,
Tender thighs.
story time, y'all. For everybody that's wanting to visit Turkey,
Don't do it.
don't do it.
Don't do it. Especially if you're our skin tone, or darker. Do not do it. So, story time. We're in Ghana right now. I'm gonna post, vlogs of things that we're doing. But before we got to Ghana, we had to stop in Turkey. We wanted to try the hot air balloon. So we was like, oh, we're gonna stop in Turkey for a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
And before we were left to Turkey, I was very sick. I wasn't feeling too well, but I got better and we were able to travel. And we got on the plane. Before we got on the plane, they made it very difficult for me because they didn't tell me there was extra charges if you have an extra bag. Mm-hmm. They charge you twice because that wasn't our end destination. We're going somewhere else. They made it very hard for me. I couldn't talk to a manager. They didn't want to hear it. The customer service, before they even charged me, they were very rude. They didn't really care. We get on the plane and wait, what happened when we got on the plane?
First of all, this is Turkish Airlines, y'all.
Right. I should have told you.
This is Turkish Airlines. So heads up, if you have more than the bags that they tell you, it's an arm and a leg and a kidney if you have an extra bag that you want to check. So if you're going on a long trip, consolidate everything or just leave the bag in the airport. That's basically what they said. Your choices are leave the bag, which what kind of advice is that? Or
leave yourself.
Right. Basically. You don't go. So we finally we get to the plane, we board, we're sitting down and
they delay it.
They delay the plane, first of all. And on the plane they serve you, since it's such a long flight, it's what? 11 hours. So they serve you dinner. With the dinner, they give you an option of drinks. You can get some free wine. Who don't like free wine? You could get juice, water, soda, anything. So we get the food, open the food. Horrible.
Like, I didn't eat all day because I was running around. Obviously, when you're traveling, I got my nails done, my eyebrows done, my lashes done. So I didn't have time to eat. So I'm like, oh, the plane food, I was expecting shish kebab or some type of Turkish
meal.
Yeah, like
Turkish
chicken
cuisine.
or something. It was horrible. It was like mashed potatoes, but it was watery, number one. Number two, they don't even give you like a protein. Yeah. It was like roasted eggplant. Mm-hmm. And then they offer you tea and wine.
And the wine is in a cute little bottle. I wish I had the bottle. It's in a cute little bottle. It's small. So you're like, okay, some nice free wine because usually, they make you pay.
Right.
But it was free. It was a Turkish wine. So you're like, okay, I'm on my way to Turkey. Let me try something different. So open the wine, pour it, drinking it. Life is good. Food is nasty. We just wrapped it up. The bread is good. So if you want the bread, try the bread.
The bread was good. It was
fresh. It was warm. Yeah. But we opened up the wine and, we're sipping on it, relaxing, having a good time. And such a long flight. Flight was at 12 a.m. So, we running around all day, getting ready. Not even halfway through the wine, end up falling asleep because you're tired. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I wake up in sweat. Cold sweat. The plane is freezing, but I woke up. It's like I'm having a panic attack. I'm like, I don't know whether I should run to the bathroom or I should just shit my pants. Like, I don't know. I don't know which one to do. Like, I'm not feeling good. I try to lean over to try to make myself feel a little bit better. And at this point, I'm panicking because I'm sitting by the window. I have two people. I have the middle seat and the aisle seat. So I'm like, I can't get to these people fast enough to get to the bathroom. So I'm like, let me just ride it out. So I'm sweating. I end up taking my clothes off. Got to take my sweater off. Took my shirt off because I was like, I felt like I was going to pass out.
Right.
Not a good experience. Finally, after a few minutes, it passes, right? I had to open the window, put my face to the window because it was really cold. it was just hard. It's a horrible position to be in when you're sitting in a window on a plane, because you're like, damn, are they gonna have to land the plane? Am I dying? What's happening? Whatever. I didn't say anything to anybody. I didn't mention it. I just figured like maybe I ate something that didn't agree with me. Maybe I am having a panic attack. Never flew this long before, so I'm like, whatever. I let it go. I fall back to sleep. Right? Done.
Now me, I don't know. I think I wasn't so smart because I also got the wine because I wanted to sleep, because I've been having like fever and stuff like that, so I can't really sleep. So I'm like, maybe if I drink this wine, I'll be able to knock out, and when I wake up, we'll be in Turkey. That was the worst mistake of my life. I took the wine. I didn't really eat the food because, like I said, it was not pleasant. And I start feeling the same way she does. I got like a big sweat over my body. I felt like throwing up. I felt like going to the bathroom, doing a number 2 at the same time. Like, not like everything is happening at the same time. I break up in sweat. I wake up, and then I try to rush to the bathroom. Right. So there's a guy sitting in the middle seat, like
in the aisle seat.
Yeah, the aisle seat right before you get out. And I'm like, excuse me. He's sitting there, so I basically bum rushed him into the bathroom. And right before I get to the bathroom, I pass out. I'm talking about cold pass out, like passed out. I tried to grab something when I was going down. That's the last thing I remember. And then the next thing I remember, my eyes were open with Jasmine asking me, are you okay? Like, what happened? Yo, when I tell you, when I passed out, no one helped.
Not a soul.
People didn't even flinch to ask me, are you okay? Like, are you dead?
Right.
Like, to check my pulse, nothing. I was crawling. I was crawling in the aisle. Nobody helped. Nobody helped. Now, mind you, we were like one of the 3 black people on the plane. It was like 4 of us. It was 3 girls and 1 guy that I saw. Nobody helped. They weren't close in like our vicinity. The people close to our vicinity just watched me.
Literally.
Just watched me. Nobody even told her, and they knew that we were together. She just sensed, because she felt bad, that I probably felt it too. So she got up to check, and then she saw me on the floor struggling, like holding on by a fucking thread. So anyway, she comes over to me and like she's like, are you okay? At this time, I'm up like from wherever planet that I was on. And then the stewardess, or what they call them?
The flight attendant,
flight attendants. They come to me and they're like, oh, are you okay? Do you need water? I'm like, she's like, obviously she's not okay. Like, she's on the floor fighting for her life. And they're like, do you want to get up and go back to your seat? I'm like, if I could get up, I think that I would. I don't want to be in the middle of the plane. Right. Literally in the middle of the plane, people staring at me and nobody willing to help. Right. Nobody willing to help. Like, it's embarrassing. It's shocking. I felt so small. I'm like, damn, like, I couldn't help it, but I'm like, is it because of my skin tone? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I swear if I was Turkish or I spoke some type of Arab, they would have reached out to help us. You understand? So I didn't want to play the race card, but I was like, it can't be nothing else. It just doesn't make sense. Like, as a person or as a crowd, when you see somebody going down, it's just like natural instincts to help.
At least one person. Yeah.
Just one. I was just looking for one person to help. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't offer me anything. They're like, you want water? I'm like, no. They kept rushing us to that seat. And then I got so annoyed. I'm like, you know what? Let me just help myself up and go and sit down. But it was such a shock to me, like, how humans can be. Yeah. Because, like, we've been in Ghana for 5 days, and it still hasn't sat. Yeah, fully hit. Yeah. But it was like, damn, like, I could have died if you weren't there, and nobody would have assisted. Yeah,
I know New Yorkers are the most unbothered people. Like, I know we be on a train, all kind of stuff be happening, crackheads be smoking crack, people be, fucking on the train, whatever. All kind of stuff be happening on the train. But the fact that you see somebody on a plane, they pass out right in front of you. It's like everybody acted like as if that was normal. Like when you see a person drop, it's not like she went and like, sat down. She literally dropped to the ground and collapsed and was laying there for a few minutes. And then I'm just like, something was just like, get up and just go see. So I stood up and I immediately see her legs. There's people, the man who was sitting in the aisle seat had a front line view, never said a word, never reached over and tapped me. Nobody ever like waved down the flight attendant. The flight attendants weren't even helpful.
They just kept brushing us back to our seat.
Yeah, they came over. I think I was the one that said, maybe can we get you some water? They didn't even offer the water. They were just like, are you okay now? Do you want to go back to your
right.
seat?
And they're like, get up.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, don't get up. Try to get up.
Exactly.
And
stand up, see how you feel, because sometimes, you know, you get up, you feel woozy again, you pass back out. So rather than jumping up and running back to your seat for the same thing to happen, I was like, you know, maybe try using the bathroom, maybe just try standing up and kind of getting your feet, you know,
right,
like situated again, like making sure that you feel okay. But their main thing was, do you want to go back to your seat now? Are you ready to go back to your seat?
Every minute.
There was no, hey, do you want to go and sit? So many empty seats that recline. Do you want to sit in a bigger space maybe where there's no people in the aisle? Recline. There were a lot of empty rows. You know, just something like put your feet up, like, you know, sit in an
like
empty
anything.
row. Yeah. For all this money that you're paying for a flight, at least, you know what I mean? Like, give me something, you know? And you're not expecting it, but I feel like as a human to see somebody... I don't think it's very often that people pass out on planes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so inhumane for something like that tragic to happen, and nobody gave a fuck.
Bat an eyelash at all.
Like nobody even flinched.
Yeah, it was so normal.
Saying? It was so unreal.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like this is so crazy. I could have died on that plane and nobody would have cared.
Nobody.
But you know, like the plane landed, they were like, oh yeah, we checked up on her. No, not a damn thing was like. And I knew we knew it was the wine, just because that's the only thing I had that day, like only liquid I had that day. I don't think I even had water till after, like, you know, the incident. And then I know it was the wine because she didn't have any liquor that day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she ate way like ahead, like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's the last
only
thing you put in
common
the body.
denominator that we had to be experiencing the same symptoms. And after drinking the wine, I was like, it's not really that good, but it's free. You know? Free ain't always good. Yeah. Free ain't always good. So
and they have everything in Turkish, so you couldn't even read what's in it.
Exactly.
Everything was written in Turkish.
Yep. And it was a Turkish wine.
What language they speak? I don't know.
Turkish?
It's like written in Arab or something.
It wasn't Arab because Arab is like symbols.
Yeah.
I think Turkish people speak Turkish. Whatever. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Go Google it.
Whatever language
Turkish people speak, it was written in that, and it specifically said that it was a Turkish wine. The alcohol content in the wine, for anybody that wants to know, it was not that high. I'm pretty sure
it was very low.
We have drank Casamigo and not felt like that. That wine was like 5%. The bottle was literally but this big, and we didn't even drink half of it. We didn't even get through half of it, and it started with me first. And I'm pretty sure if I would have tried to stand up, I probably would have passed out too, because that's just how I felt. But I just didn't think that I could get over two people and then get to the bathroom in time. So I was like, let me just sit here and just ride the wave and then just wait.
Yeah, so I agree. If you got up, you probably would have felt. I also think it probably hit me harder because I was sick the whole week, you know?
Yeah.
So I probably shouldn't have gotten up, but it was just like it was strong, y'all. Like I felt like two things coming out of two ways in my body, my mouth and my butt. Like I couldn't help it, and my body was in sweat, like a quick fever.
Yeah, it's like a cold sweat though, because it wasn't. I didn't feel hot because you know how airplanes are. Airplanes are cold. And I had my hoodie on. I had the hood on, and then I had the blanket, and then all of a sudden, like I just literally it felt like my skin was on fire. My body burst into sweat. And my first instinct was strip, because I'm like, I'm so hot, I could explode right now.
And then your neck felt...
My neck is sweaty. You can see the sweat dripping off my forehead. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I was like, let me just take my clothes off as fast on the airplane. Right. I have to get out of this sweater. Yeah. Because I'm just like, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
It doesn't even end there.
Yeah.
Like, the whole experience
I'm just telling you, if you're going to go to Turkey and it was horrible, y'all. Like,
go with someone Turkish.
Please do not go alone.
Go with someone
I would
Turkish.
not advise it. I had a misconception because I watch a lot of TikToks, and people that look like me said it's a good place to travel. My experience was completely different.
Completely
different. It was like a culture shock. It wasn't very pleasant. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Even when we landed in Turkey, they were supposed to give us a free hotel. They acted like we offended them when we asked about it. Yeah, when we spoke English, they like Google Translator. And the way that they said it was just really harsh. Yeah. So I wouldn't advise going alone. You have to go with someone. I'm so sorry, but you do. The whole experience was very unpleasant. and I would not do it again.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't. Maybe you might see me in the vlog here in Turkey. It would take a lot for me to make that trip again.
Yeah, that was definitely a 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
And they're very like bluntly rude. So they don't hide the fact that they favor their own people over someone
everybody
who looks
else.
like us. Even having a conversation with someone, I'm trying to ask about the hotel. I'm trying to ask about, you know, getting our bags and everything like that. And I'm speaking to the person in English. We're literally having a conversation. Before they get to answer me, a woman comes over, literally stands in the center of us, starts speaking Turkish. In any other country, they would say, please wait, I'm helping her, or something of that sort.
Right.
They literally just shifted and started having a conversation. Like, fuck me. Like, I'm not even standing here anymore. I didn't get the answer that I was looking for. So I'm like, hello.
I'm still here.
I'm still here. Please answer my question.
I matter too.
Yeah, like I do matter. And you were helping me first. She could have got behind me and waited, or she could have went and asked somebody else. But because I don't speak the language, you know, I'm a catfish, because for whatever reason they think that I'm Middle Eastern or whatever, and I am not. So until I start speaking English, they're like, oh,
she's not from here. Yeah,
this girl done got us messed up. So it just was like, it was not a pleasant experience. I know a lot of people who have had pleasant experiences in Turkey. I don't know if they went with people who spoke close to the language or what. And I know this was also years ago, so I don't know. The pandemic has really messed a lot of people and places up, but I feel like the pandemic don't cause racism, and that's definitely what our experience was. It just wasn't, you know. And like she said, on the plane, God forbid, when she dropped, her heart stopped. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little bit dramatic, but you don't know. And the fact that not one person got up to check her pulse, not one person kicked her leg, not one person screamed, like anything, you know, whatever, any reaction would have been helpful in that situation. Get up and call a flight attendant, get up and do something. So I'm just like, if I had not went with my gut, and if I had not trusted my intuition to be like, something doesn't feel right, let me just stand up and see what's going on, who knows how long she would have been, you know, you would have been laying there. So it's just like, you know, it's such a weird, so I've never experienced anything like that. And I've been a few places, you've been a few places.
I've been a few places, yeah.
Never experienced
nothing like
anything like that. Like, I've been racially profiled, I know, crazy, but you know, I've never been in a situation like that. And as an extreme New Yorker, born and raised, like, I know we know how to mind our business, but at least if we saw something like that happen, 5 people are jumping up to help. Somebody's gonna shout, are you okay? Are you a doctor? Is there a doctor here? Pull the emergency brake. Like, I know we all trying to get to work and nobody wants to be that person that's the sick passenger, but people will do it. Yeah. So it's just like,
it was horrible.
Tread lightly, y'all.
Like, it was really horrible. Like, I don't know, but they also, I was thinking maybe they don't like Americans like that, because I've been to countries where they just don't fuck with Americans. Excuse my cursing, but whatever the reason was, that was just inhumane. And I don't think anybody should experience that, because that put me in a shock where now I'm kind of scared to travel alone. You know what I'm saying? Anything could happen and you be West Bubblefuck and nobody will care. Like, what happens to you? Right. So that was our experience. I just thought that we'll share. Sorry that we look like this. We just I wanted to get the story out the way
while it's fresh.
Yeah, while it's fresh, so we can like reconnect back with our feelings and share with you guys. So in the next video, I promise we're gonna look better, and you guys see you in the next video. Bye.